Last episode ended on an uncomfortable question, and I owe you the answer. Your suite is green, and green feels like safety. But if the code were wrong, would your tests actually fail? For most suites, measured honestly, the answer is no. And a test that cannot fail is not a safety net, it is decoration, it burns time on every build, it hands out confidence it never earned, and the day the real bug arrives it waves the chain straight through. Today is about the fix, and the fix starts with a strange idea. The way to find out whether your tests protect you is to break your code on purpose. Last episode, I gave you the oracle, what correct looks like, written down independently of the implementation. But a page enforces nothing, and the enforcement everyone points to is the test suite. So this episode turns on one flipped question. We have always asked whether the tests pass. Passing is the least informative thing a test can do. The worth of a test is whether it would catch the bug, the real one, the one that is coming. And that sentence carries the whole promise of the episode, because would catch the bug is not a feeling. It is a number you can measure. Watch it fail on our own feature first. The suggesters redaction function masks card numbers before a ticket goes anywhere near the model. It has tests, the tests pass, the dashboard is green. So let us do the thing engineers almost never do, break it deliberately, and see if anything notices. Mutant 1, swap the mask order, so the function now hides the digits it may show and shows the digits it must hide. Run the suite. Green. Mutant 2, an off by 1 at the mask boundary, so one extra digit of every card number survives into the draft. Run the suite. Green. 2 real privacy bugs, planted in the most safety-critical function we own, and the net caught neither. How does green lie like that? Look at what the tests actually assert. They feed the function one tidy card number and check that the output contains asterisks and comes back the right length. Both mutants keep the asterisks. Both keep the length. The tests were checking that the output resembles redaction, not that the right digits are gone, and resemblance, this strand's oldest villain, is exactly the property that survives being wrong. Dijkstra told us that testing shows the presence of bugs, never their absence. The fine print is crueler. If the questions are weak enough, testing cannot even manage the presence. So, the technique, mutation thinking. If a test's worth is whether it would catch the bug, then manufacture bugs, and count. Plant one small deliberate fault, a flipped comparison, a shifted boundary, a deleted call. Run the suite, and demand red. If it stays green, that mutant walked through the net, and the hole in your coverage has just gone from a feeling to a fact. Tools can plant hundreds of mutants in an afternoon, and the fraction your suite kills has a name, the mutation score. It is the measured answer to last episode's question, and asking for it will change how you write tests forever. If this sounds like a research toy, it is running inside the largest messaging apps on Earth. Meta's compliance team inverted test writing exactly this way: generate the fault first, a mutant that would cause a real privacy bug, then generate the test, and keep it only if it provably catches that fault. The bug exists before the test does, so the test's power is known on the day it is born. Deployed on Messenger and WhatsApp, engineers accepted 73% of the tests this produced. Note the standard that Scale demanded: a test is not trusted because it passes. It is trusted for what it is known to catch. Mutation thinking measures the net you have. The second half of the technique weaves a better one, and it is last episode's oracle in industrial form, property-based testing. An ordinary test freezes a single question, this input, that output. A property test states a law that must hold for every input, then hands input making to a generator that hammers the law with thousands of cases you would never think to type, the empty string, the emoji, the number split across lines. And you have already written the laws. Last episode's oracle page listed them under properties, and a property test is simply one of those sentences, armed. So we fix the suite, not the code, because today the suite is what is broken. Keep every existing test, and add one property, the redaction oracle verbatim, no token of any output, for any input, may ever match a card number pattern. Notice it says nothing about mask order or boundaries. Run it against Mutant 1, and the generator finds a leaking ticket in seconds. Red. Mutant 2, the extra surviving digit trips the same pattern. Red. This is the beat the strand has been building towards, the oracle just grew teeth. The page on the wall stopped being knowledge and started being enforcement. And properties are how testing survives cheap generation. The maintainer of Hypothesis, the property testing library, working with researchers at Anthropic, pointed an agent at more than 100 popular Python packages and let it infer the properties and write the tests itself. 56% of what it flagged turned out to be valid bugs, immature, heavily used code, and the patches were merged, including into NumPy. The reason this works where looks right checking failed is the moral of the whole episode. A property checks behavior, not resemblance, so it cannot be flattered by code that merely looks correct, whoever, or whatever, wrote it. The self-check is a number this week. Point a mutation tool at your own suite, MUTATION for Python, Striker for JavaScript and Friends, both free. Let it plant its mutants overnight, and read your score in the morning. Or run episode 4's seeded drill pointed at your tests, have a model plant 3 plausible bugs, and this time do not hunt them yourself, just run the suite and count how many go red. Whatever the number is, write it down without flinching. First scores are always lower than hoped, and that is the point. It is a baseline, and baselines exist to be moved. The exercise: take the one function whose failure would cost you most, plant 3 mutants in it by hand, and run your suite. For every mutant that survives, add not another example but a property that kills it. The artifact is the adversarial test starter, linked below with this episode's receipts, a mutation quick start for both tools, and a property recipe for each heading of last episode's Oracle page, properties, invariants, reference cases, golden data. And you will know it worked the first time a bad change goes red that would once have sailed through green, because that is your suite switching sides, from agreeing with the code to defending the user. One honest step remains before the strand can rest. A property suite is the strongest meta-deterministic function we'll ever need. But the suggester is not deterministic, there is a model in the middle, and the same ticket can draft 2 different replies on 2 different days. A law you check once cannot govern a system that shifts under your feet. For a system with a model inside, the oracle has to become a harness you run forever, golden sets, graders, scores with trend lines, alarms when they dip. That machinery is the fastest growing practice in the industry, and the numbers it produces will matter again when this series starts deciding what lives and what dies. Next episode: Evils, the Oracle, Industrialized.